Majority Leader. Majority Leader wants to say something.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I rise to support that motion. And indeed, as a leader of minority in seconding, but also to tell him the deputy leader was moving on my behalf, was on a phone call behind. But Honorable Speaker, as a leader of minority, says that this prayer breakfast gives us an opportunity to come together as one people. Honorable Speaker, is our perfect opportunity to come together and reconcile ourselves first to our God. And I appreciate that the leader of minority also appreciates that the role God has in all our lives, irrespective of our political affiliation, Honorable Speaker. Two, it gives us the opportunity to also reconcile man to man. And therefore, I also look forward, Honorable Speaker, after the lofty speeches that would be at the prayer breakfast and the prayers, Honorable Speaker, because we cannot underestimate the value and the role that prayers play in our lives. Honorable Speaker, if you want to ask how powerful prayer is, ask those of us in Kenya Kwanza, we will tell you how powerful prayer is. And we never take it for granted. And just as the leader of minority has announced the presence of the entire leadership of the Azimio leadership in Parliament and the absence of the Azimio leadership outside of Parliament, let me also announce the presence in that prayer breakfast meeting of the entire leadership of the Kenya Kwanza coalition in Parliament, and also our party leaders led by none other than His Excellency the President, because he knows that it has taken prayers for him to be president today. It has taken prayers for us to enjoy the peace and tranquility that we enjoy today. And Honorable Speaker, we suffered a drought in this country that we have not experienced for a record 40 years, and we kept saying that it is the worst drought in 40 years. Honorable Speaker, you remember when the President and the Deputy President led Kenyans in a prayer meeting at Nyayo Stadium. People made fun of it. But as I say, we can tell you the power of prayers, because after those prayers, Honorable Speaker, and prayers by many Kenyans, we have experienced rains in this country, and we want to pray, Honorable Speaker, even as we meet tomorrow morning to pray, that we not only reconcile ourselves to our God and our Maker, but also we reconcile amongst ourselves as political leaders, even as we seek to reconcile Kenyans. And how I pray that these prayers will also soften our hearts, that those who continue to incite Kenyans, those who continue to misinform and disinform Kenyans, even on the questions of the finance bill, will now reconcile themselves with their conscience and come and debate the issues touching on finance bill on the floor of this House, because this is where to engage on matters that touch on the lives and matters that are of concern to the people who have sent us here to represent them. And Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I take opportunity to invite all of you, including my good friend, the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, my good friend, the Honorable Raila Odinga, our former Prime Minister, to the prayer breakfast. And should they not be there, we shall pray for them. And I want to encourage Kenyans and all of us to pray for each other. Just like every day I pray for the former Prime Minister and my good friend, the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. Every day I do, and I'll continue to pray for them, Honorable Speaker. Just as I pray for my President and my Deputy President, I pray for our leaders. As I also pray, this is why, Honorable Speaker, you see the Honorable Junet. I have been praying for the Honorable Junet to show up again in Parliament, and I am happy he's here today, Honorable Speaker. With those many remarks,